Yo, what's up? This is Kaleidoscope Kid. We're here at SRH, Suburban Noize headquarters, and we're gonna break down and get a little bit behind the music today. So, I picked up the guitar probably 7 years ago, I think it is now. I was living in Sedona at the time. I just had a guitar laying around just because there was nothing else to do out there, and so one day I picked it up and kind of immediately fell in love with it. For the next 2 months, I carried it around with me everywhere. And then right around that time, it just so happened that I ended up getting very sick and ending up in the hospital. When I got checked into the hospital, my body was just being destroyed from the inside out, and I weighed a little more than 90 pounds. They were not sure if I was going to live or not. They were testing me for everything. They didn't know what was wrong. And at the end of the day, they recommended that I take methotrexate, which is essentially a form of chemotherapy to suppress the immune system. And that was something that I refused to put in my body. At that point, I left the hospital, I walked out, and I decided that I was gonna head back to Sedona to try to figure it out on my own. And in that recovery, I couldn't drink water, I couldn't eat, I couldn't sing or anything like that. It had really done a lot of damage to my mouth and to my throat. And so it was, like I said, it was difficult to drink water and eat, let alone sing. So during that time, I really was dealing with a lot of pain and trauma. And anytime I would pick up the guitar, I would describe it as the walls would fall down around me. And almost to a point where it would just bring me to tears because it was so potent as far as how much I could escape from that physical pain that I was in. Over that month of recovery, I really that's where that bond was created with the music. I feel like at that point it went from becoming something that was a hobby to something that allowed me to express myself, and that was really, like I said, it was really the bonding moment for me and the guitar right there, because I don't know how I would have made it through that experience without it. And so then that led me to just open up more doors, and it was probably like 2-3 months later I ended up getting sick again. That was when I was like, okay, this isn't going away at the moment. And I had previously been sick, so I kind of was better equipped with how to handle it. When this flare-up came around, it was like, all right, I need to do something about this. I moved back to Sedona and started seeking alternative forms of healing and different methods. In that, I went through down a whole bunch of different rabbit holes and ended up coming across what's known in the Chinese medicine as the mushroom of immortality. And it's the reishi mushroom. And so this was about 5 or 6 years ago. And the reishi mushroom, in combination with a berry, camu berry, which that berry is the highest concentration of vitamin C that's naturally found in a plant source. That vitamin C allows you to absorb the nutrients that the mushrooms are providing 10 times easier than you would be able to otherwise. So with that, I started to incorporate that into my routine, into my diet. And with the medicine that the doctors were prescribing me, it would take me a few weeks to see to experience any relief of my symptoms. And with this, it was within 3 to 5 days, it was already healing. So that was like a huge part of it as well. And during that time, it was a learning experience. I was taking a different route than most people were recommending, to go to the doctor and do these things. And so it was difficult, but going through it, the music was always there. And so that's really where that kind of solidified everything, and it became just a part of who I am now. The creative process for me is very important. It's a space that as it started to develop in me, I remember having thoughts that I was like, I really hope that everybody has an outlet, whether it's music or writing or just going exploring and hanging out with friends. But it is such an essential part of a healthy life, for me at least, to have that space. It's kind of like you can't make a flower grow, but you can create the environment for it to grow. So I think as artists, we're always trying to create a space that facilitates growth and creativity. in the way that best suits us. And I think it was Terrence McKenna who says it, but if somebody told you that they traveled to the future, it would be hard to believe them. But if they brought you back a flower or a plant that didn't exist now, only in the future, then that gives it a little bit more validity. And I think as artists, that's also what we're trying to do, is we're trying to step into realms of the unknown and push boundaries and come back with something to show the world. How has music helped you grow, not only as an artist, but as an individual? That's a great question, because I wouldn't be here right now. I'm sitting in this studio here in California, and I don't think I would have ever felt the drive to do certain things that I did, whether it was travel or take a risk or take a chance, if it wasn't for the music, the drive, the curiosity that all encompasses it. So it's pushed me out of my comfort zone in the most beautiful ways. It's expanded my relationships. I've met so many incredible people, incredible artists, and it's just allowed me to see different facets of life and different viewpoints. I don't think I would have traveled to all these states and done all this stuff if it wasn't for the music. So I think that's one of the biggest things it's done for me as an individual. It's really taught me how to step into the fire when shit starts to get hot, and it's like that's where alchemy happens, and that's where we can take those materials, whether it's emotional material or physical material, these experiences that we have, and we can melt them down and make something beautiful out of it. So it's really taught me how to kind of look into the fire, and also it really bleeds out into all areas of life. I feel like it helps with my confidence, it helps with my communication, it helps with feeling like I have a purpose and waking up and feeling like there's a direction that I can go in. So I think what I would like people to take from my music is to try something new and to just explore not only the external world but the inner worlds. There's no rules, so I think that's a beautiful thing. I think that it's important to push the boundaries. I think it's important to and not just in music but in everyday life, is to take that leap of faith, and it's like you're in a trust fall with the universe. So I think that the quote that comes to mind is, I think it was Gandhi. He said, let my life be my message. And so as much as there's a message in the music, I feel like really it's rooted in who I am as a person, and that is what I would like people to take away from it.